So, my name is Angelo, and I currently 26. I grew up in Cyprus. All my childhood was in Cyprus until the age of 11, and that's when I came to London. And when I came to London, I went to a very rough school. During that time, I got bullied. I would be spat on and kicked at and slapped and all those things. But I always lived with the hope that things would change. And even though I lived a life where I had even not much friends, I studied really hard and I did well. So then I went to college, and I went from a very different environment, from a very rough school to a much better school. But then it was the ongoing challenge of my health. 30 days before my final exams for university, I got a lung collapse, and then further 2 lung collapses that they then had to glue my lung with a major lung surgery. And it was that time when I thought, what's going on in my life? And after going through that, I had to have my tonsils removed, and the damage, well, I ended up with a damaged nerve that resulted in a cracking of my throat every time I eat and drink. And I had to learn to filter that out, and I accepted that. And then all of a sudden, when you experience so many things going wrong, and since the age of 5, that when my veins were blowing up, and because they would get inflamed and the blood would leak out, and that left a big scar in my life. And since the age of 5 to even this very day of 26, I'm still in and out of hospitals. But on my final surgery, when I was recovering, I found out the news that my mom got diagnosed with brain tumor. And that really did have an effect on me. And I then started to cope also with not only my own things, but then also trying to cope with how my dad responded to all of these things and how he was coping with his own life. And then while I was in my room crying, and I took the pen and asking a big question why all these things were going on in my life, and I just wrote really big and capital letters. I just wrote, I just want to die. I didn't want to live anymore. And for me, it was really easy to just, while I was in the underground, just to throw myself off to a train. But I said, what would I do that would change my world? And at that time, I watched a movie called Paid Forward, and I got the inspiration for the name Forward, and I said, you know what, I will launch a project called Forward the Smile. Well, I will use just the smallest things that I know, just 1 or 2 tricks or my music, my guitar, and give something that I don't have to a stranger and see what happens. So Forward the Smile, it's a project where I'll go out on the streets, wherever I am, and embrace strangers and entertain them with either my magic or my music, and learn about, by sharing my life with them and the smile with a stranger, all of a sudden you get exposed to so many people's stories. And all of a sudden you get exposed to so many, another dimension to life that is so hard to explain, that when you open yourself up, people open back. And Forward the Smile is just really outreaching to someone with the smallest thing that we could give, and that's a smile.